friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction Beanie Yo 419. Day in the neighborhood. My brothers and sisters, as we proceed to give you what you need, it is another Wednesday, Bean Team. So y'all know who we're about to go back to. Mike from that chapter. That chapter Wednesdays, y'all. It is always a delight when we get to go back to Mike. And the title of the video is Mom Discovers Her Adopted Son's Horrifying Secret. Now, just for some reason, y'all, I just got a feeling that his secret is going to be that he murdered somebody within the family. Like, I feel like this is going to be a within the family murder that he committed, but he was lying to his adopted mom. Like, no, Mom, I would never do it. I would never do it. And come to find out the whole time he did it. You know what I'm saying? Long story short, short story long. I think that's what we going in this story. But I don't know. I'm just ready to see. And the one thing we can guarantee, that this adopted son about to be lying like a mother, you know what. But let's go and check it out. But before we check it out, my brothers and sisters, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need, please. Another That Chapter Wednesday. Y'all got what y'all need. Y'all ready to go? Then let's go.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike, and in this old video, it was the dead of night, Austin, Texas, if you can believe that. That was when a couple who owned a jewelry store were woken up by like a ruckus inside their home. The husband quickly grabbed his firearm and went to investigate. When he didn't come back, his wife followed him. What happened next was a very twisted story of betrayal, a spiderweb of betrayal, of really dumb people, and of the worst lies you've ever heard of. So let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go. And get whatever you may need.
So this whole video takes place in Austin, Texas. There was a jewelry store called Gallery Jewelers. It was a beautiful upmarket store in central Austin, ran by the Shaughnessy's. I mean, it's probably a good idea they didn't name their jewelry store, you know, Shaughnessy's or anything like that. Great name for a bar, not so much a jewelry store. The store was ran by Ted and his wife Corey. Ted was the face of the store, while Corey was the appraiser. More a behind-the-scenes type of gal, and they made for a very happy couple. They'd been married for 30 years, the store was a success. It did well. And they had one of them beautiful homes in Austin's west side, in the Cedar Valley area. A quiet area home to a lot of the fancier houses. The couple had one son. He was adopted from Russia when he was a baby. His name was Nicholas, 19 years of age, in 2018. He was in fact married to Jacqueline Edison. They both lived in College Station, a city about 2 hours away, home to Texas A&M. Jacqueline, she was studying there. Our story begins in the very wee hours, March 2nd, 2018. It was a Friday, regular ass day. Corey and Ted fast asleep in their beds. Nothing was out of the ordinary. They were working as usual, you know. Then something strange woke them from their slumber. It was one of their dogs going woof woof. They both woke up and Ted checked the time, 4:30 a.m. And it was odd. They lived in an area where it's not terribly busy. There are houses, but they're not on top of each other, so dog barking it's actually kind of unusual. Ted got up to see what was the matter, and he got his gun. They were jewelers, right? So you can't be too careful. And you know, he got his gun, was walking him over and was like, it's probably a deer or some kind of wild animal. The dog is losing its mind. Ted walked out of the bedroom door. Corey turned over to go back to sleep. and as soon as she closed her eyes, for a second time she heard a gunshot ring out. It was one shot.
Man, can you imagine that, my brothers and sisters? Like, I'm just saying, being Corey, you know what I'm saying? Your man going to check out this noise, but you ain't really tripping off of it. You know, the dog may be barking at anything. Like Mike said, maybe a deer or anything out there. We not taking it that serious. So she rolled back over, getting ready to close her eyes and go back to sleep. And she hear a gunshot ring out in her freaking house. Imagine how she feeling in that moment. What the freak should she even do in that moment? Crazy.
Shot, the silence of the night, followed then by multiple shots. The shots were right outside the door. So Corey, heart pounding, leapt out of bed and grabbed her own gun, which she had in the bedside locker.
And shout out to them for practicing they Second Amendment rights, the right to bear arms, whatever the correct terminology is, man. And especially them being freaking jewelers. Like, bro, my brothers and sisters, if you are owner of a jewelry store, like a legit jewelry store, oh, you got some freaking money. You most definitely got some money, and you gotta be like on guard and paranoid about people trying to come rob you and steal some of that money.
She could only see darkness out of the open door, when suddenly there was a bright light, like a very powerful flashlight. Silence, then another gunshot. One of their dogs was shot and killed.
Oh!
Corey then just opened up at the light and then saw muzzle flashes coming in her direction. They were shooting at each other. Somehow, though, neither were hit. And Corey then ran for the closet, calling 911.
Travis County 911. Luke, give me shooting. My husband got out of bed, my dogs are barking, there were shots fired. That's what it is for him. I don't know. Help me.
Corey found Ted dead on the kitchen floor. One of their dogs had also been killed, and the rest of the house was quiet. The police were delayed coming. They had accidentally gone to the next door neighbors, and then they found this horrifying scene. Nick, their son, was informed. He was horrified. The family was extremely close.
Nick. Yes, Mom, Dad's dead.
Wait, what?
Nick, Dad is dead.
What?
Nicholas, just, I need you. Can you just...
What happened?
I'm shooting. I don't know.
What? Did you return fire?
Yes. I'm in the back of the car out front, and the police are here, and they want me to call someone. I know you're in College Station, and I don't know what to do about it.
I'm on my way.
To neighbors and friends, this was an unthinkable thing to happen, not only to this loving, friendly, nice couple, but in this part of town, too.
But first tonight, we are learning more about the man killed in a home invasion a few days ago. He owned an Austin jewelry store.
There was a temporarily closed sign on the front door this morning, along with flowers and a note from a family friend. Deputies say they're still searching for the person who shot and killed Shaughnessy at his home on Oliver Drive Friday morning. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Travis County Sheriff's Office.
Ted had been shot.
And another thing that just make it so crazy, y'all, is whoever did this, it went like they was going in there to rob them. Whoever went in here to do this, they had a personal vendetta and they was just going to kill. They weren't going in there to steal. You know what I'm saying? And that was what, as the police or the detectives in the case, it would lead them to believe that it may be a family member. And I'm pretty sure at this point, we pretty sure, y'all, that it's the stepson. And I had a feeling that whoever he murdered was going to be a part of the family. I just had that feeling from the beginning. Let's go.
Shot in the kitchen 4 times. In the kitchen, they found 2 different caliber shell casings, so they believed there were 2 shooters waiting for Ted to walk in, and they both shot him dead there and then. The family did have an alarm system, but it wasn't set at that particular time. However, it gave them the first clues as to who these intruders were and how they got in. They could tell them when windows had been opened. They found an open window in Nick's room, so it appeared to have been the point of entry. The screen had been removed. They had also found a fingerprint on the glass, and in the dresser of Nick's room, they found an empty handgun box. Perhaps one of the intruders had found it and had used it. The window
Wow.
had been opened 17 minutes before the shooting began, so they'd been snooping around for a while before the dog started barking. Perhaps looking for, a safe or cash or something. After all, they were high-end jewelers who had millions with like one of these. Millions with a big M. There had even been an attempted robbery of the Shockney Studios before. Years and years before they opened their jewelers, Ted had owned a pawn shop. Right, and one time a guy had broken in with an iron and tried to rob him at gunpoint. Ted said, "Not today, pal." He shot back. There was a gunfight years and years ago in this pawn shop. Ted injured the robber, the attempted robber, and he was arrested and locked in jail. Was he out looking for revenge? Like, the lines of inquiries were kind of spidering out almost immediately. However, with all of this, the police initially also had their suspicions about Corey. It's always the other half. It's always the spouse. Even when it's not the spouse, it's the spouse.
Will you be able to tell if I shot somebody?
I mean, that's something that we may be able to learn. You see what I'm getting at is somebody doing this at night. It's a very risky thing, especially in Texas, because a lot of people in Texas own guns. I mean, it does happen, but I mean that's a big risk for somebody to try to pull off.
I can't imagine anybody knowing us doing this.
Had she staged a burglary in her own home, which we've seen time and time again, seen that movie before, simply for one of these?
Oh.
She would get a check for $1 million, not counting the store and the house and the yada yada yada.
That is a strong possibility. I can understand why the police may be thinking that she did it, man. That life insurance money, plus she get the whole freaking business to herself, everything. It's a possibility, especially if they was to find out that she got another man on the side. But let me stop, y'all. I don't believe that's what it is, man. And even Mike saying that how they had opened the windows up for 17 minutes prior before they actually went in the house or whatever, and it looked like it was a robbery, like they maybe was snooping around and stuff. I still don't believe that, y'all. I feel like the person who did this, they was out to freaking get Ted, man. They was out to get Ted, y'all. I just feel like that was their sole purpose by going in there. Let's go.
I didn't know Ted. It's not right. Somebody killed him.
No, it's not.
And I want to find him.
Me too.
New tonight, the sheriff's office tells us there may be more than one suspect, and it's looking into the possibility that Shaughnessy and his wife may have known the gunman. Detectives say evidence suggests the shooter may have been injured, and he or she should be considered armed and dangerous. The sheriff's office is also asking homeowners and businesses along Oliver Drive who have surveillance video to call them. They are looking for video from the evening of March 1st into the early hours of March 2nd.
The police really had a lot of leads to begin this investigation and a lot of angles where there could have been a motive. Corey, intruders, Nick, a case of mistaken identity was a theory, revenge, burglary gone wrong, and so Nick and Jacqueline, his wife, they moved in with his mom, Corey Shaughnessy. Nick even taking over for his dad in the family business. As the investigation progressed, however, the police did not think this was like a home invasion or an attempted burglary gone wrong. The fingerprint that they found on the glass, tracking that down, it eventually led to the window installer who lived in Minnesota, so the fingerprint actually went nowhere. The home intruders, the two killers, had been in the house for like over 15 minutes, but nothing was stolen. In fact, the only thing taken was the gun. The only thing that seemed to be missing and that Corey couldn't explain, where it was the gun. The police really did begin to look at Corey and Nick, the two people who would have had easy access to the house, who would have been in there for quite a long time. Corey, in fact, she was actually denied the life insurance policy because she was a suspect. The police had informed the life insurance company, we can't rule her out. The window that clearly seemed to be the killer's entry point was what the police were focusing on early. Why was it unlocked? Who knew about that window? Was it always unlocked? And Nick said he had often used the window to get in and out of the house. Say he was sneaking out at night or whatever, he would always use that window as an entry point. Sneaking out, when he was a kid to do whatever kids do, I don't want to know. Who else used it though? Did Nick's friendos have access to that window too? One was Spencer Patterson. He would use that window too if he wanted to sneak into the house.
How would y'all leave the house and get back in and all that?
Usually we go out through one of Nicholas's bedroom windows.
Okay. Do you remember the last time y'all did that?
No, not really, no. It was recent, but not like in the last month, no.
Spencer knew the inside of the house, he knew about the entry point, he even had a gun that was the same caliber as one of the ones used to murder Ted. Not the missing gun that was believed to have been used by the robbers, but the second gun. Was Spency gonna spend his life in prison? No. They were able to get his phone records. It proved that he was at home at the time. I mean, he could have left his phone at home at the time, but no, it seemed like he wasn't involved in the shooting, the murder, home invasion of Ted Shaughnessy. And when his gun was tested, it wasn't the one used in the shooting. Nick was a weird guy. The son. I mean, he was the one who in fact had suggested Spencer, his best friend. Which is odd you would suggest that maybe your best friend could have done it. As saying, like, he was the one who said, oh, Spencer, maybe he did it. He has a gun like the one used. Why don't you have, who would suggest who would even think that their best friend could have killed their dad? That's weird.
He's not as fortunate.
Weird as freak.
He's a guy to have parents that will help him, like mine are. So he works at his Home Depot job, hating every second of it. When he's not there, he's studying for his job or his school at Texas State. Planning of anything that could be helpful.
Nick was just very chill, very happy. Neighbors would even say, yeah, he's acting kinda weird. Had he reason to kill his folks?
There was a period where my mother and I, there was a financial dispute, and it was like really pretty heated, but we figured it out, sat down, wrote everything out, figured it out.
Well, just a bit of background. So this story takes place in 2018. And what was happening around 2018? Well, a lot of things. But that's when, day trading, everyday trading, Bitcoin was on the rise. They were already pretty big at this time, but they were like exploding exponentially. Apps like Robinhood, crypto, everybody was doing it. You know what else was exploding? Crypto bros, my bro. You had stuff like Wall Street bets and all that stuff really taking off. And our Nick, he was a crypto bro. More like a shit crypto. You know what I mean. His dad, Ted, had given him $30,000 to lose on the stock market. Nick was gonna bypass college and had dreams of making it himself. That was what Nick was doing. While he was living with his wife Jacqueline in College Station, she was in college, Nick was at home. Clackety clackety all day. Buy high, sell low. That's the old mantra, isn't it? Wolf of Wall Street came out in 2013 when Nick would have been 14 years of age. Of course he's gonna be dressing in suits, doing cocaine all the time. His hero is Martin Shkreli. Ted and Corey had seen this before, they knew where it was going. They were not obviously happy that Nick was bypassing college and trying to gonna make it as a day trader, which is extremely, almost impossible. So, but they just gave Nick a load of money, they said pay us back. They just wanted Nick to kind of get it out of his system. Enough losses, he'll probably be, okay, yeah, shit, maybe I should get an education and get a good job. That's what they were hoping. But the police discovered that Nick was flat broke. The day trading had, as his parents suspected, turned into nightmare trading. So
I just feel like his parents elfed up by using that type of strategy. Yeah, we're just gonna keep on giving you money till you realize that this is not working. So hopefully you can get your mind right and go get your education. No, I feel like most kids or most children, if you just continue to spoil them, they just gonna want to be spoiled for their whole freaking life. They never gonna want to get out and be successful on their own. If you just gonna keep giving them money, especially you giving him $30,000 to play around with Bitcoin and crypto. Like, no, man, I just feel like that was just bad from the beginning. That was a bad decision. But that decision shouldn't have cost them, him, the dad, his life.
They searched Nick's place and they found the security system, the camera, and it did appear that both Nick and Jackie were at home at the time of the murder. They checked both Nick and Jackie's phones, found nothing weird. Nothing weird on the surface, is what I really mean by that, because they also found, though, that, like, a couple of weeks before the murder of Ted, both Nick and Jackie had factory erased their phones. Like, complete wipe at the same time. Which is kind of odd. People don't really do factory resets all the time unless they kind of have to. So all the messages had been erased. Except if you have iCloud. The messages will be archived on your other Apple systems, at least for a little while. So while Nick and Jackie had thought they had erased all their messages, the police found them. Those messages talked about money and about paying someone 50 grand for a ... Probably his murder. Let's be honest. So had Nick been hiring somebody? Tried to? Successfully, it seems. Old Spencer had a tale to tell.
Has he ever directly asked you to kill his parents?
Yes. He said, after my parents go, I would have $8 million.
Corey eventually did get that life insurance, Ted's life insurance, when the police cleared her. She did not murder her husband. But you know who wanted it? Nick. In fact, you know what he would have really wanted was if Corey, his mom, died too, because he would have gotten $2 million, $1 million each. More day trade.
Man, that is crazy, man. He really valued $2 million over his parents' lives, y'all. And another crazy part was his friend sat up and said, they asked, have he ever asked you to kill his parent before? And he was like, yeah, he told the truth. But I definitely don't blame him because what his name, Rick, whoever the stepson is, he tried to blame his best friend from the beginning, throwing his name out there, trying to throw him under the bus from the very beginning. And it's so funny how they flip back around on his ass now. But for $2 million, bro, you not even hire somebody else to kill your parents. You take it upon yourself to do it. Terrible.
Trading, baby. Nick knew about the murders before Corey dialed a single digit of his to tell him the horrifying story. He had been monitoring the home security system through his dad's login. He could tell that the window had been opened. He was watching his phone as his dad was being shot to death. It was late May 2018 that both Nick and Jackie were arrested, but they still knew that they hadn't killed Ted. They were arrested for solicitation of murder, not murder itself.
The search warrants also say Ted's son Nicholas told an investigator he owed his mother $30,000, and the two had gotten into an argument about it the same week his dad was shot to death. Money Nicholas says she loaned him to start a day trading business. And then there was a text message investigators say Nicholas's wife Jacqueline sent a friend saying, "Only you know I'm broke," coupled with screenshots of her bank account balance and their joint account, each containing less than $2.
The solicitation had been wide, by the way. Not only had Nick asked his good buddy Spencer, "Hey, would you mind just killing my dad and my mom just for shits and giggles? I'll pay you real good, I swear." He had asked an employee at the apartment complex where he lived in College Station. Off the dome here. Murder? He'd been messaging her on social media asking if she wanted to make some cash through illegal means. She said, "What do you mean?" He said it could be anything from stripping to murder, which is there's a pretty wide gap there. And then he said, "I will pay you $20,000 ahead," with 3 skull emojis behind it. So just to make sure she got the point with the skulls. She might have assumed, though, he just found this really funny. Nick eventually found his killers in a couple of furniture movers he had hired. Once again, while I have you here, murder for hire? What do you say? This then led the police.
This is crazy, y'all, and I ain't gonna lie, I was confused. I thought Nick had done it himself, but he actually hired people to do it. But it don't make it no better, man. Now it just make it dude, you literally paid people money to kill your parents. It's still the same goddamn thing, my brothers and sisters. Wow, man, for $2 million freaking dollars. I don't care what the money amount was, man, but wow, dude, you literally asking, not even the people he finally hired, but just going around and asking different people, will you do it and all that. You know what I'm saying, man? It's I feel like he thought he was being smart, but at the end of the day, you weren't being smart, bro, because you going around asking people will they kill your freaking parents. Do you know that the police gonna eventually get on that trail and find out about all this? You making it very easy for the police to find out that you was looking for murder for hire of your parents, man, because some of these witnesses gonna show their face. I don't know, y'all. This one here is just wow, dude, for $2 million.
Police to a Johnny Leon.
I'm not gonna lie to you. When Shaw offers you $100K, you're gonna think about it. We know you're involved in this. We know what happened. We know I'm involved. Absolutely. There's no doubt.
And a friend of his named Arian Smith.
Then I hear some shots come from the bedroom as well. And then I heard a woman crying. And I said, please don't do it, please, let's just go, please, leave her alone, let's go, please, just let's go. So after I say that, he takes off running and I follow him.
You're the only person that's showing me regret. I don't understand how could you kill somebody and not have any emotion about it? And you actually killed him. I was just in the situation, I'm devastated, I cannot sleep at night.
Motherfucker, I don't understand how you could go on the mission with the person who killed him. It don't matter if you pulled the trigger, you still was there to do it. You know what I'm saying, man? I don't understand how 100K, the other dude said 100K, man, make you think about it. That shit wouldn't make me think, that shit'll make me think you a dumbass crazy motherfucker. That's the only thing it'll make me think. Get the fuck out my face. That's what'll come to my head. You want me to kill somebody for $100,000? Say what? Come again? Like, come on, man. What he just said kind of just peed me off because he trying to act like he had remorse and stuff. And what the dude did who actually shot Ted is worse than him being there. It's all the same thing to me.
It turned out Nick had given Arian the missing gun. It was found with him. That was it. They had hired 2 killers, gave them access, gave them a gun and bullets, and that was that. Let them kill his parents. Let him kill his father and attempt to kill his mother before they fled when she fought back. Nick pleaded guilty to murder. He received 35 years. The 2 killers, Johnny and Arian, also pleaded guilty and got 35 years each. The only person who actually seemed upset by the entire deal was Arian Smith, who asked that he be killed in return.
Yes, I was there. I requested death penalty. I killed somebody, I deserve to die.
I agree.
In fact, the only person who got off, let's say, scot-free was Jackie Edison. Now, she had been texting about the killers. There was evidence she had taken out a check worth $1,000 to pay the killers. But she more or less got nothing, even though she was pretty clearly lockstep with Nikki the entire time.
Do you prefer Jackie or Jacqueline? Or Jackie. Did Nicholas hire somebody to kill his parents?
Yeah. I really loved him like a father.
Huh. Weird. See, the story, Jackie's story, right, was that, Nick had explained why they need to go. They got to go. The reason they needed to go was this. This will make it okay.
Shortly after we got married, he asked me if I would stay with him if he ever murdered someone. He knew that they had a $1 million life insurance policy each, but he told me it wasn't about the money.
Nick said Ted, his dad, was extremely depressed guy. He's just very sad. All the time. Very, very sad guy, right? Now, Jackie would say she never seen him like that, but that's besides the point.
I didn't see that, but Nick said he did. And he mentioned killing him to end that. And I said, that's crazy, that's stupid, what are you saying?
He's one unhappy bunny, so he's gotta get got. We gon' get. We'll put him out of his misery. It's the humane thing to do.
Like tear the damn dog or something. Put him out of his misery, man. And she a dumbass if she believe that story. I refuse to believe that she really believe that. And even if the man damn sad, let him be sad. That don't mean you need to end his life. It ain't about the money. Man, we talking about $1 million. We know why he did that. We have went from just crazy to ridiculousness now, my brothers and sisters. We have just completely went off the rails. This whole thing just have got just like what the is going on for real.
You love your parents. Like we visit them every weekend. We have fun. We're family. I've always wanted what I had with them. I didn't think Nick really had it in him to even think about it, and that's why I never took it as seriously as I should have.
But not only that, okay, we'll put Ted out of his misery, but shit, my mom, Corey, she won't really be able to live without Ted. So if we put Ted out of his misery, we have to kill Corey too. Sorry. And the dog would probably be very upset too, so let's say we kill the dog too?
Living with Corey, and every single day how she would cry about Ted and how she hated his murderers and how she would blame me all when really I knew that
It was her son, and that killed me.
That's an awful lie. But it also seems like if Jackie believed that, she's the stupidest person imaginable. Regardless.
That's what I said too, man, Mike, bro. If she even believed that bullshit, then you got to be the most bullshitted motherfucker out here. Like, you got to be crazy as hell to believe some... Man, let me stop cussing so much, my brothers and sisters. You two, I don't know how much they be liking that. Let's go.
She still knew about hiring the killers and had paid them. Jackie, though, must have batted those long lashes because nothing ever happened with her. She got probation, end of. Well, every year on the anniversary of Ted's murder, she has to spend 2 days in the county jail. She also later divorced Nick.
I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't do this. I'm not going to play a victim card. I most certainly played my role, and I wholeheartedly regret it.
Nicholas was an only child and the sole beneficiary of his parents' $2 million life insurance policy.
Jackie and I had gone to Austin originally to attempt ourselves, but ultimately it couldn't. Like I was too cowardly. You know, I'm not that. I couldn't do that myself, and so it was. The later trips were used to identify just a routine, you know, a pattern of what was going on when we weren't in Austin.
So they could tell someone else how to do it for them.
You wanted it to go through, you wanted it to happen?
It's leading me up for a trap right there, because on one hand I say no, but then it did.
Nicholas was sentenced to 35 years in prison. Jacqueline was handed down a sentence of 10 years probation.
It's something that I can never undo, and I will live with every day for the rest of my life. My ex, she got a plea deal of the century. Like 2 days in county for 10 years. Like, yeah, what, where do they do that? So, you know, part of this is to take accountability, and the other part is to show my mother that what I did is not who I am.
Shit, that is who you is. You did it. That's you, goddammit. But it is kind of crazy that she ain't getting none. But and I never heard of no type of sentence like this. Two days in prison for the next 2 years. For the next 10 years, you got to spend 2 days out of the year. You know what I'm saying? In jail. I never heard of nothing like that. But I do feel like she should have got charged with something more than what she got.
And there you have it. It's the story of an adopted son who once, you know, his crypto day trading days were over, you know, oh no, my Funko Coin Pops coins are worth nothing nowadays. He thought, there's only one way this can end, and that's by putting them out of their misery. It's time to get murderous. There's a lot of motives, but most of the time, it's really just one motive.
That right though.
Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot that you here with me watching this whole video. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll see you in a couple of days for the next whole video, so look forward to that. And also check out the That Chapter podcast, which has a new episode out every single Monday, and all the other stuff on Twitter and Instagram. You know the whole drill. Alright, listen, good luck. Thanks, I love you. Mike out.
Another great video from Mike, y'all, and it's just this one right here, the thing that stick out to me the most, man. And it is so crazy because we have watched a ton of freaking video from Mike, and it always turns to the dun 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 with the life insurance, man. But I just would never understand why somebody would value $2 million over their freaking parents' lives. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it came down to. And it's also a little crazy that he is not actually their blood. They're not blood relatives. He's an adopted son, but he was raised by them since he was a little itty bitty child. You know what I'm saying? Since he was a child, and he still end up doing that, man, over that freaking money, y'all. And I the one thing, and I'm not trying to chastise them or nothing. I'm just speaking real on how I feel. I feel like they was messing up when they was allowing him they was enabling his behavior by just keep giving him money and let him just blow money, not working, not doing nothing for himself, not, you know what I'm saying, learning how to live on his own basis. They still was taking care of him as a grown adult by giving him all that money, giving him $30,000 here, there, doing all that. And it just made the situation worse, man. Long story short, short story long, to the point where he did that. I feel like his freaking wife, she should have been charged with a little more than what she got, that sentence that she got. I never heard of nothing like that, but that's just complete BS, man. At that point, you might as well just let her be free. Like, what is that doing? Her spending 2 days out the year for the next 10 years in jail. The freak is that doing? I don't know, man. That was just crazy. But this whole story was just crazy, y'all. And I did not know, man. At one point, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was confused. I thought he actually had did it himself. But Mike told us he hired some men. At the end, he revealed that he ended up hiring some guys to do it. And these guys so freaking stupid. Dude said for $100,000, somebody asked you to kill somebody, you gonna think about it. Think about what? What are we thinking about? I don't care if he said 100 million. Like, I don't know, y'all. Am I the only one who really like be valuing life way more than some freaking money? Am I the odd one out in this equation? I doubt it, my brothers and sisters. I doubt it, Bean Team. I know y'all riding with me on that, man. Money could never be more valuable than life. But I digress. I'm gonna let y'all go now. I appreciate y'all coming on back as always. Y'all just please, before you leave, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and do all that if you ain't did that yet. And I'll be back tomorrow, and I don't know where we going tomorrow. I know Jose Ortiz, he about to put out a new video, so maybe that's what we gonna check out. But I don't know. We'll see. But until then, my friends, I also need y'all to remember this. Love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.